Damn, my case is falling apart. Oh man. Well, I haven't been using this for drawing much these days because I think I fell in love with drawing in sketchbooks. Hello beautiful people, it's your boy Cube, and this week I saw a little buzz about this sketchbook online. It's the Ohuhu Sketchbook for markers. I got it and I tried it. Let me just show you what it's all about. I got this image from Pinterest and I decided to draw it because it looks great to me. I mean, with a woman with a with a baby at the back and carrying this thing. I mean, it's so African. It's something that I grew up seeing a lot. I used the Copic Fine the Copic Fine liners, and it actually comes with this brush pen that I used for the places that I had to apply a lot of blacks and stuff. Yeah. So the Copic Fine liners were good for me. So after the sketch, I just go in with the fine liners. Wow, why is it that I'm finding it so difficult to mention fine liners? God. Anyway, so that's the Copic brush pen. I think I love using it. My hands shake a lot, but it doesn't matter. I finished with the line work with the fine liners, and I've had these Copic markers for a long time, and I've always wanted to use it, but I never really get around to use it. But getting this book makes me want to use it more, So I went in with the lighter tones, whereby this is what I learned from the first ever Copic work that I did. This would be the second one that I'm ever doing. I learned that you needed to go in with the first with the lighter tones, and then you can do the shades and blend the shades with the light tones afterwards and all that. So I think it worked perfectly for me, as I applied this shade of color to the skin and everything. Yeah. So I must say this. I mean, working on the iPad has really spoiled me because, I get a little reckless when I'm working, when I'm working traditionally like this. But I mean, it's just recently that I learned the digital art, but then I stopped painting for a long time. So it's as if I'm learning traditional painting for the first time, and it's okay. I mean, it's always okay to relearn the things that I think you've lost touch with and everything. I mean, it wouldn't take you as long as someone who has never done it would take to get good, but you still need to dedicate some time into learning and everything, because I remember when I was a kid, I used to paint a lot with felt pens, paint a lot with markers and all that. But now when I hold the markers, it looks a little alien to me, but it's all good. Man, I always like to go deeper with colors and stuff like that because, I love the dark skin of our queens right here. It is what it is, y'all. Yeah, so I think the skin painting is going well. There are parts that, I think I just painted just the way I felt like it should be painted. For instance, when it comes to, painting the skin and everything, I had actually totally forgotten about the reference picture. Yeah, so I went on to painting the dress and everything. I had already pre-selected the colors that I was going to use for the dress, the woman's dress and everything. So I had everything, I think I had it done in memory before I even started putting on the colors and everything. But at the end of the day, I think, I'm never the kind of artist that loves to use bright colors. I always gravitate towards dull colors and stuff. But lately I'm thinking of, learning, to be bright colored kind of artist and everything. Yeah. And there's one thing you can see that, on the hand over there, I went all reckless with it. That's just because I've been, I've been doing a lot of, let me put it this way. I've been doing a lot of digital painting. So me doing traditional painting, sometimes I always think that maybe I can still, just do Control Z and then undo, but it doesn't really work like that. If you're wrong, you're wrong. So I put on this black background to correct some mistakes I made with the edges, just so, I can still have my artwork done nicely. Paint actually goes to the back of it, and I think that's the reason why they provided this, so you can put them in between the paper that you're working on and the one beneath it. Else the paint is going to seep through the paper and just go to the other side of it, which might affect the next page or something like that. So right after the last painting with the marker, I went on vacation, and where I stayed was close to the water, and it inspired me to make a sketch like this one. And I decided to actually go in and paint it like, the way they paint this superhero style, and but I mean, that was my first time trying it, and I got. And with this art, I actually found out that, I'm having an eye problem. So the next one that this one that I drew right here, I used a reading glasses to, go all in, and I was able to, punch on the details of the face and everything. If you take a look at the last one, you could see that I messed up the faces, and so this artwork is based on a prompt called Crystal. I mean, for the Inktober art prompt, I started drawing in this book, but then I decided to do Inktober 2021 in a different sketchbook altogether, which I will be revealing to you guys very soon. This artwork, I think I just liked the whole composition, but what I realized was, just because I haven't been drawing in sketchbook for a long time, I realized I am getting a lot of warping when it comes to my sketches, because whenever I sketched, I was sitting down and I had the sketchbook lying down on the table, and from the angle I mostly sit leaning on the left, and from the angle that I sit, it seems I think everything is all right until I finish sketching or finish drawing the whole thing, and then I pick up the sketchbook and I'll look at it and see that the artwork has actually warped to one side. Well, there's still no Control Z for traditional painting or drawing, so I guess I might just have to deal with it just the way it is, because I already think that I might end up doing a digital version of this painting, this concept, or the painting and everything, because I think I like it. I mean, it's something that comes from within, so I feel like maybe I should repaint the whole thing again. But for the meantime, for this sketchbook, this is what I had for y'all. I was actually thinking of, trying watercolor is Ohuhu Sketchbook, just to see how it will hold up to it. Even though I knew that this wasn't made for watercolor, even though I knew that this was made for what we call it. This was made for markers. I just wanted to see how watercolor will hold up in this sketchbook, So I tried it, with this sketch. That's what I had in mind. Well, on the real, the warping of the drawing really gets on my nerves. But I mean, apart from that, I really do love the composition. So, like I said earlier on, I intend to remake the whole painting again. So I went in with the watercolors, trying to prime the background with it somehow. But then I realized that it was actually warping the paper. It was making it, I don't know how to put it. English is not my first language. Anyway, so yeah, I tried with the watercolor and I realized that, the paper is going to get crumpled up, even with the first layer that I just dropped on it. So looking at that, I decided to go in with the copy markers again and get everything painted. And even though I wished I had given it borders, I still think that it was a good experience. I learned a lot from this. There were so many places that I made a lot of mistakes, but then fortunately for me, I had the Posca pen around, so I covered some places with the Posca pen. But at the end of the day, I think I love the flow that I had with this artwork, and it just inspires me to paint some more. Just 'cause I love y'all. Just 'cause I love y'all. You can actually see that, when I'm painting, I don't really pay so much attention when I'm using these Copic markers, because in my head I thought, Copic markers are just for beginners and stuff. But then I realized that, this is a whole new ball game, and I need to pay attention more and see if I can create good stuff with it. Even though now I still look like a newbie using this right now, but it's all good. I believe that, I'm gonna get better with it. So with that, I couldn't even finish recording the whole process, but I got it all done. And I went into painting this artwork that was actually made by The original was painted by a famous artist though, so I like the way he draws and the line work that he puts in and everything. But then I decided to draw it and give it a little Copic marker show, and it wasn't bad. Just that I think sometimes, just because I'm trying to learn new stuff with Copic markers, sometimes it makes me go in way too much than I should. There are places that if I were painting, I would leave for the background and everything. But this time around, I realized that I think I was painting with way too many hues than I should have. And once again the warping came to play. So now I'm actually learning to go in with pencil, finish the pencil work, and if it's a work that I want to do fine liner, then after I correct it, I will do the finer liners. I would not just do a sketch with a pencil and then go directly in with the fine liners. That way, I just maintain the errors that I already made in there. But if I do the pencil work and correct it, I think I can actually make sense out of what I'm doing by using the pencil. That's why we use the pencil in the first place, just so we can actually have a sketch done and then make corrections before we actually go in with a painting, or use permanent fine liners to just solidify the whole thing. So that's more like it. And once again, just like the other ones, I used the brush pen, Copic brush pen in here. I used it to just finish up the parts that I had to paint and block in some shadows and stuff like that. I think I'm getting tired from talking. I don't talk much like this. This time around, I've been talking for like a whole lot of time, and I'm getting tired, y'all. The fine liners are smooth, so I've been getting really carried away. Well, I'm enjoying it too. It's not like I do not. I really do enjoy using the fine liners to, create this cool, black strokes on the white sheet of paper. Black strokes on the white sheet of paper. Yeah. Anyways, but at long last, I had to go in with the Copic markers and use colors that I don't usually use, and and to create. I think if you use the fine liners very well enough, just one tone of color can even make the work look like it's enough. You don't really have to blend a whole lot to interpret your vision onto the paper. But then, because this work is more of like something that I'm using to try my hands on, I felt like, okay, let me just go in with different tones or different shades of the same color, just so I can see what comes out of it. And because now I'm in the experimental stage where everything that I'm doing is more of like a trial. Yes, it is. And there's something about the Copic markers that I like so much. It seems it's easy to blend on this piece Ohuhu. It's so funny that I'm mixing Copic and Ohuhu at the same. Ohuhu Sketchbook, Copic markers. Ooh, gee. Like I'm wearing Adidas t-shirt and Puma shorts. Yes. Yes, I can do it because I can do it. It's my own money. I choose what I want to buy. Okay, let me be honest with y'all. With the shorts, I really didn't know the color that I should go in for. But then, in the long run, I'm like, well, since the dressing of the elephant looks more of an old kind of dress, and I felt like, let me use some antique looking color, something that can be considered old as well. So I chose this green. I know a whole lot of people have names for different shades of green and stuff, man. I'm just black and white kind of brother. Yeah, you can see that I was done with that elephant. A painting idea that I had. When I was a kid, I used to do a whole lot when it comes to, lettering. And then this painting of my fear, I had the whole thing done, and I will show you in another video. But for the meantime, I think let me just give you a flip through of the works that I've done in this book so far. This is my Zen, and this one is Pandemonium. This is something that I used to draw when I was a kid. And then the elephant, yes, my beautiful sweet elephant. And then this is, yeah, you can see that it goes through the back, it seeps through, but it's okay because I have something beneath it to prevent it from the next page. This is myself. Yes, this is myself. And this was the first one I did in this book with the Copic markers, before the elephant though. But this one, I think I like the blend of the skin and everything about it. This work I couldn't really finish because the shadow blocking really spoiled the work for me. I felt like and my eyes were failing me on that work. So this one I used these spectacles, and I used the blue pen. And this I guess I couldn't show the whole video for this, but this is how it turned out. It seeped through once again, but I'm just I should have given this borders. I think that would have made it look nicer, but I can't wait to finish with the digital version of this, which is even crispier and nicer. I used the Copic Posca pens on some parts as well. And this is Amagana. I was trying to draw something different, and after drawing it, I couldn't paint it in time. And this is the Ikwaba for my first comic book that I'm working on. And then this is the vessel. The vessel. Yep. And oh yeah, this one is drawing my fears. Anytime I go to the loo, man, I'm afraid that I'm gonna see some olupu in there. And this work, I ain't done with it yet, but I guess I'm tired working on that. But I'm gonna finish it. I don't wanna, So that's it for today. This is the beginning of my sketchbook. If you love it and you want us to go more into drawing with markers and stuff, you can comment right down here. Let me know what you want us to draw the next one and everything, so we can get into it. The next time you can join me in the drawing, and I'm gonna just put the topic out on Instagram, and I'll just execute it the next time. So it is what it is. Can you dig it? And I love it.